Hello, everybody. It is Lygia in October here on the YouTube's channel, Art for Lygia. If you are kind enough to follow me on Instagram, Lygia Mancia, if we are friends and connected on Facebook. So, I don't know how long I'm going to stay. I'm going to try to keep it at an hour. Let me set my timer here. An hour. Okay. So I don't have a whole lot of planned here other than to do some decorating, hoping you'll stick around and watch for a little while. And I've been working on a project that I made up myself. And it's centered around the concept of an evil forest, bunny ears. And really, I'm thinking they're just misunderstood creatures. That's all. And so I've been doing a lot of printing. I have an idea for a art journal book that I know is probably going to take me the entire year to work on. So I have done a lot of printing. And along the way, I've taken some little side quests, which I guess they're not really side quests. It hasn't deviated me. But as I've been printing on large paper for my book, I've also been doing a lot of these 5x7 cards printing based on the colors and, the, I guess, the concepts, ideas that I've been putting on the larger prints. And one day I'll bring them out and show them to you. But my friend Becky had suggested that I post some of the things that I do. And so I did post some things on the Makers of Mixed Media Art and Artists group. But they're not finished. They're just prints, and they were mostly, not intentional. I'm not going to call them experiments, but they were a little bit of a oops. Like this one. There's this one that was not an oops. I really liked how this came out. But my friend Becky Bokern, who also has a YouTube channel, said I should post them. And I did post these on the Makers group. And but I've been working on putting up more on these cards in the past 2 days. And that's what I'm going to work on this week. I don't even have anything. But I don't know if it comes across on the camera, but I mixed up purple, dioxazine purple with the black glittery one from Nick Pro. It really is not black, but I thought it came out pretty cool. Anyway, so I got to do some printing on this one. And there's this one that I spent some time working on this one. And lots of layers there. And this one is going to Becky because if you can see the outline shapes here through the, I think it's silver. Yes, it's silver. And then these blue ones over here, they're her stencil. I forgot what it's called, but I'll look it up and post it. And I followed a technique that the Art Whisperer 88 executes on his prints. If you don't know who he is, go check him out. He doesn't know who I am, but that's okay. I've learned a lot along the way from watching him, which I think is awesome of creators to share their knowledge and experience. I think he's formally trained. I think he went to school for printmaking. Silk screen, I believe. Or he did silk screening for a long time, and so a lot of that he did on silk screening techniques or just overall printing, he applies it to his gel printing. So let me show you this other one too here. These are the two that started as my experiments as I was working along. They're not on card, they're actually on paper. But these came out pretty cool. And here's this one too. I am also testing out a new microphone. I don't know how well this works. But I don't know. I do a lot of rummaging off of camera, and sometimes I know you can't hear me. So I decided to invest in a little, inexpensive little microphone over here. And also, I'm testing out my new Beats. This is a lavender color that I just got this week. And as I'm crafting, you say, what are you watching, Legia? Because you watch a lot of scary movies as you craft. So today I am not watching any scary movie. I'm actually watching a live stream by Scrap Craft and Stitchery, and I came about her channel the other day from her joining my friend Becky Bokern's YouTube channel, and so I'm here to support it. I'm watching her create a altered book. One day I hope to do that too. But anyway, these are some of the other prints I had made for my Evil Forest bunny ears over here. And these are some of the ones that I've decorated. So they all have little stories. We can all make those up along, but here are some little creatures carrying what may or may not be a leg, or maybe it's a knee-high, thigh-high boot. I don't know. And then over here is what may or may not be a snake. And this is a stencil from my friend Becky. I love these. These are like little creatures. And this is a stamp that I did some embossing, put embossing powder. And then these right here, I used Sakura's glaze pens, which I'm really saddened to hear that they have discontinued, because whatever material they use for making the dimensional glaze, they cannot source it, or they cannot come upon it easily. So I found some alternatives, which they're in my basket, but I haven't checked out yet because I'm trying to see if I get other things to take advantage of the shipping that I'll experiment with. They're not colored glaze pens. It's just glaze or dimensional something or the other. But in any case, that's what I like, and I really like the effect that they have. And these right here, you say, how did you make that, Lygia? Those are my own stencil I made, but I cannot take the credit for these humanoid shapes that are waving or holding something up. I get a lot of inspiration from National Geographic history magazines, and of course they have a lot about ancient civilizations, and these are actually from a picture that I saw. Oh, I forget where, but these were rock paintings from ancient humans. And the way they were painted on the rock was these were here, and then on the bottom there was another set, but they were upside down, and so there was like two parallel lines that the article was saying that they thought that represented people waving at each other from across a river. I really liked them. I thought, how cool. And so I cut out a little stencil, which I don't know where I put. Oh, here we go. These are stencils from other designers that I've kept from Kim Artist Studio. But this is the little stencil that I made from just cardboard mailers that you get. But I was actually using it from an older stencil that I had made it using just paper. And I don't know why I did it. See, it's already ripped. I was trying to salvage it, and so best I could, I traced it onto this cardboard and then cut it out. But you know that tracing adds, you know, some type of thickness. You can never get quite the outline. So I colored them black, and my plan is to scan them. And then upload them to my Procreate, and then trace them out and generate different sizes, or maybe even extending it, doing the upside down and up. I really like them. Anyways, that's my plan. Let me put it over here so I don't lose it. And I had made this stencil over a year ago already. So I was pleasantly surprised. I found it floating around on my craft table. So I rescued it this week. So anyways, they could be little creatures living in the forest, bringing something to their snaky friend, or maybe it's a dragon. I don't know. And then I have this one that is supposed to be a tree right here, but I don't know what happened. I don't even remember how I made it. I think I layered stencils and then I put paint over. That's why certain parts are hidden, didn't come up. I don't know. I don't remember how I made it. But I did put this one, the hand, and I figured that maybe this is the witch's hand. But you know, the witch isn't evil. She's just a woman who lives in the forest, connected to the forest, and doesn't feel very connected to people. And there is a strawberry moon maybe out there, you know. She's got her glammy fingernails, pink nail polish, right? And she's full of love. And maybe she's out looking for her little kitty who's playing hide and seek. He's not really scared. He's just playing hide and seek in the forest. But, you know, since they're misunderstood creatures, people say she's a witch. But she really isn't. And then this one over here, what I had, see if you can see it. Yeah, if I tilt it, you can see those. And so there's a little night creature. out and about. And what I had tried to do here was trace with one of the glaze pens a little Labubu. You know, they're little misunderstood creatures. They're not evil. Just because they got pointy teeth doesn't mean anything. They're just little lovable creatures. Anyways, I'm not quite too sure if I'm going to try to complete the rest of the outline or maybe just partial. Maybe put a sticker over here like he's hiding behind something. You know, because either you love the Labubus or you don't. And the ones who don't think that they're scary because they got the little pointy teeth. You know? Just hiding around playing with the flowers. With this little unknown bird friend in the night. With all those stars that are out. Anyways, so those are the ones that I've made so far. There is a fourth one that I just finished making, but I'm sending that to a member of the makers group because she actually guessed which line I had put out there about something about saying, I think I had this one, where is it? This captioned under this card right here. These are awesome colors, I think. But here's another stencil of Becky's creatures. And I had captioned the picture under, they mostly come out at night, mostly. And I said, guess what movie that line comes from? And she guessed correctly. It comes from Aliens. And it's what Newt says to Ripley after their getaway spacecraft crashed. And she was saying, hey, let's go hide because those aliens mostly come out at night, mostly. So, all right, I think I blabbed enough. 20 minutes. Sorry, guys. I keep saying I'm going to hurry it up. I'm going to decorate one of these here. I started this one, but I think I want to do a little bit more, and I'm going to paint these areas. Maybe I can do it with a alcohol marker, because I found out that alcohol markers work over paint and it doesn't smudge. So let me see if I can do that. Let me see. I'm looking over here onto the side where I have my bag of alcohol markers. Trying to find a red, good red, old red, maybe, wine red, maybe. So I got a few reds. This is more on the pinky side, old red and wine red. But you know what? Let me take a swatch. I'm gonna do it in the back. They're gonna be mine anyway. So this is wine red. Ooh, pretty dark. Pretty though. Old red. Maybe. Tomato. Oh, this one is closer to that. I think the paint that I used was a burnt orange geranium. I think it's going to be more tomato or geranium. I think tomato is the closest one. So very pretty, but we're going to put these to the side. Anyway, so these past 2 days I've actually been, oh yeah, look at that. Pretty close, huh? I've been a little bit ill, and so I have stayed at home for the last 2 days from work. And I always feel guilty. But, you know, that's what I got benefits for, right? That's why we got sick days. We use the other side. And I've not logged on to check out emails. Oh no, it's drying out. That's why we got to use them. Oh, you know, from this thicker side, the chisel side, it is less intense. I'll just go over a few times. I take this medication on a weekly basis. It's a weekly injection to help me manage my diabetes. It's been the medication that has really worked really, really well to help me maintain my A1C levels low. Now, I'm not going to say I exercise. I know I should. One, I hate exercising. But I was eating well. I was eating right. I was taking long walks. But nothing, hardly anything would keep it down. My A1C, and my doctor had said, you know, that's because you probably have a very stressful job. And I said, it is stressful. I do find myself stressed out, but I wouldn't say it's overly stressful. And she said, you know, everybody reacts differently. Stress is a big contributing factor. And that's how stress affects you. So for several years, she was trying to convince me to take some of the other medications that have been out, the Trulicity, Ozempic, and I'm finally doing a Mounjaro. And I resisted for several years. And she's like, fine. She's like, but here's what's going to happen. I'll just keep giving you more medication and more medication as you get older. And you're going to develop a lot of complications because you're young. You developed diabetes when you were young. And it's going to affect you younger rather than when you're older. So I don't know what it was that finally made me, I don't remember anymore. What was it that finally I'm like, fine, just give me the shots. Then started with Trulicity. Didn't really work for me. It just gave me bad side effects too. Not as severe as Ozempic. Ozempic, terrible. It was terrible. The side effects were terrible for me. I was violently sick every week for the first few days when I took it. I couldn't live like that. So she took me off it. And so that's how I progressed through the years until they came out with Mounjaro, and she convinced me to try it. She said it's very different from the others. I reluctantly agreed because I thought, man, here we go, another type of medication that's just gonna make me sick. But okay, let me try things. And sure enough, it worked really well. I didn't experience the nausea that I did on the other, well, on the other medications. And I tolerated it really well. And so she increased my dosage as I went along. Because then, she's like, well, one of the side effects, which turns out to be a benefit, is that it helps you lose weight. Like, well, I've never been a skinny bitty. There were certain points in my life that I gained a lot. And then I started exercising like a mad woman, came down, and then I'd go back to not exercising. I hate exercising. But that's too triangular, but oh well. I think there was something here too. Now it's coming along really nicely, huh? So she's like, let's increase it since you tolerate it so well. It's been great for you. And I'm like, sure, okay. My A1C is very well managed. And she increased it. And I was okay. Tolerating it really well. She had increased it for me again, but that dosage was too high and I couldn't tolerate it. I felt like back when I was on Ozempic, violently ill. If you've ever been violently ill, you know what I mean by that. So I think I only lasted through 3 weeks taking that, and finally I called the doctor. I'm like, I can't tolerate it. And they're like, okay, we'll step you back. And then back to the lower dosage, the one that I was tolerating pretty well. But I didn't tolerate it so great this weekend because there was a lot of things missing here. So we are going to try to fill in the gaps here. But since it's now being used as a medication to help people lose weight, it's always out of stock. Always. And whenever I miss it by more than 5 days, taking my next dosage, then I feel the effects. Oh, look at that. Yay! Oh, it's came out really nice. Okay, I'm gonna color the edges here too. So, tomorrow I'll be making my way to work. And I don't know what's expecting me. I should have logged in, checked emails. But my head wasn't into it. So what I'm probably gonna do is get up early, go into the office early and read those emails and catch up that way. I'm doing the edges too, guys. I don't know, because people do it so I'm learning by watching people. I learned it by watching you. Remember that 80s commercial was the 90s. That the dad confronts his son. Where'd you learn? Where do you use drugs? He shouts back, I learned it by watching you. Was it drugs or was it alcohol? I forget. But I think I was talking to my friend Becky, and she's like, "Oh, did you learn how to do that? You're doing it so good." I forgot what it was. And this was recent. We recently had a phone conversation. I think it was on Saturday or Sunday. Ooh, do you guys hear that? That's rain. It might be hail. It was hailing earlier today. I was afraid it was going to break my windows, but it didn't. And that's what I told Becky. I learned it by watching you. Oh, I remember what it was. Let me show you, because I did something really cool. And she's like, oh, that's a cool print. That's a cool print. And she's like, I learned it by watching you. This one right here. It's just a little piece from a larger, well, it's not too large of a print, but I'm working on this as a master board for trading with my swap partner this month. I just need to stamp it, which I did start, but I wanted to do it with acrylic paints, but was too lazy to lug out the acrylic paints and put up the bucket, a little, not a bucket, but some shallow dish full of water so it doesn't dry out. This actually looks pretty nice. I love that because this was a burnt orange. I really liked how my evil force is coming along. Okay, I don't know what to put here, and that's where I'm gonna work on for the next 20 minutes, and then I'm calling it a night. Sorry, you saw my hairy arm. I inherited that from my dad. Lucky me, I'm the one who came out that way from all the girls. I'm the one. Okay, so what do I want to do? Do I want to put my people again? I do like these people. Okay. Or do I want to put a, since these are trees, I guess I could put a giant leaf. That's what I was thinking of tracing. But I have a stamp actually. I think I should make these in 2 stamps. Like this one. Or, let me see. That one looks like a squirrel. And there's another one that looks like a spiky dinosaur. I think it's this one. No, this one looks like a porcupine or that spiky dinosaur. I already used this one, the snake-like. This looks like a centipede. This, to me, looks like a griffin that's looking back. This is the spikiness from its neck, and then a wing. This one looks like 2 arms reaching out. The head could be an alien. Or it could be a chupacabra. I have so many ideas to do things with these, but never enough time. Pesky job. No, I'm grateful I have a job. This one to me looks like big head of somebody, and it's either their tongue is sticking out, they have a raised axe over here, like from pictures, hieroglyphs, or whatever they're called from the Aztec Codex. Maybe a warrior with that obsidian axe, a warrior. And then this one, I'm not quite too sure. Looks maybe like a bird. I don't know. What's your imagination? Imagination, kids. So, what do I want to do? I think I do want to use my people, which I think I might emboss it. I have an embossing pen that I could do a marker. That's okay. Black. And then color it in with my embossing pen. And then do black embossing. And then this one. Or should I do it higher? No, they should be down here. Maybe there's several creatures. It's like a big mouth with teeth right there. I mean, they're not mean. They're just misunderstood. That's all. What if... Let me see, what stamps do I have here? I have other stencils here, but... Do I want to put moons? Or... ancient writing, maybe? Let's put that one to the side there. Maybe. We're formulating a story here. I do like these little ones. They look like little creatures. You know who they remind me of these? If you guys have ever watched the Studio Ghibli animation, Princess Mononoke, they're the little white forest creatures. If you know which one it is, you won't be able to unsee it. But I call them sprites on my other card that I decorated. So let me see. Do we want to put some clouds? It looks like a cloud to me. Or, like I said, do a leaf. That one is too giant. I thought I had a smaller one. Where is it? Oh. Maybe I don't have the smaller. Maybe I want to put a moon. Ooh, it's storming. It's storming. I hope it stops storming tomorrow when I head out to work. That'll suck. Maybe these little swirlies. Like to signify speech. I love this. I have to use it. This reminds me of the Death Star. Oh, maybe it is the Planet Endor. Yes. I think I have my theme. Okay. Let me think this through. What do I want to do? I do want this. I think I want this one. I think too many creatures here. We're not going to do the clouds, even though they're pretty cool. I think it could go up here. I need to finish coloring that up there. Hold on. Hold your kittens. Where's tomato again? Oh, I lost tomato. Tomato. Here we go. So watch. These are where I put the alcohol ink. See? It dries. I'm sure others know, but that was a new discovery for me. Let me see. What do I have to do here? What did I see? Right here. And then there's right here separating these. Yeah. Let's color this right here, because we lost some paint. So I think what we're going to do, yes, it maybe won't be the planet Endor, but you know what? The Empire invaded a lot of planets, like Endor, where the civilization was primitive, right? But they still resisted, like the Ewoks. So maybe this is a civilization of little people that live in a magical forest. And the Galactic Empire has not been able to conquer them. They are so elusive. So they have spread rumors that evil creatures live there. And maybe that's why we see, oops, sorry, I'm blocking you. That's why we see in this scene the little people carrying a boot from one of the stormtroopers. That's what's happening. That is exactly what is happening. Right? And it never really is nighttime. So the skies look red because the sun never fully sets. I think, yeah. But they're not really evil. That's a lie perpetrated by the Galactic. No, it's not Galactic. Was it? No, Galactic was from Flash Gordon, right? I don't know. Anyways, by the Empire. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to trace my little people here. Right? Let me get my black. I really like these. Zig Memory System Writer. Acid-free archival quality pigmenting. Keep horizontal. Oops, I've always stored them vertical. Oh, I wonder why. But okay, I'll start doing this. These last forever. You don't know how often I've used them into color in and shade. And one of them, after 2 years, is finally giving out. So, maybe what they're doing tonight. Oh, I think she finished. I wasn't even paying attention. She was prepping her altered book. Oh, wait, or maybe she's still going. I don't know. She made an announcement. Maybe what they're doing here is they're organizing an attack. Maybe all the creatures in the forest, the evil forest, which really isn't evil, they're gathering to have a meeting about how best to handle. Yep, there we go. Can you see it? So, let me see. Let me see. I can see it. Let me see. Make sure that it is dry. Not quite. All right, we'll leave it to dry a little bit. Should I make them put some more over here? Like this? Should I? No. We are going to put one of these creatures. Remember, it's not really a monster. It's just part of creature of the forest. Here. And then I think what I'll put is here, stamp and foliage. And this one. And then this one over here. Okay. I'm going to trace it. I'm still not quite too sure if I'm going to do embossing on this one too. Maybe I won't, because I really liked that grayish glaze that I used here. And There we go. It looks like a little dinosaur, maybe like a little T-Rex. And then, where is my squirrel? Maybe it's up above in the trees here. Like right there. Because then I'm going to put the galactic here. And I think on this one, I'm going to use clear embossing. Just so that you can see a hint. Because, you know, it's up in space, even though it's really far away. Still gigantic. You can see it. Mm-hmm. Try not to, because it's acrylic, it's a little bumpy, so it tries to skip. And if I skip, then I'll be like, oops. So I'm trying to be conscious of those bumps so that I don't try to force it. There we go. There we go. All right. Okay. All right. I want, whoops, here. I want the people which one did I use? Did I use the silver or the black? I don't remember anymore. Well, let's try the black one. I mean, what's the worst that can happen, right? Okay. I don't know if you guys can see. Okay. All right. I might hide things along the way, but it won't be on purpose. Let's see. Oh yeah, I don't think I used this one. I think it was the silver one, but I am actually liking it because it is noticeable. So the trick with the glaze pens is you're supposed to go really slow. The slower you go, the thicker it'll be. And when it dries, it'll have a little raise to it, making it seem dimensional. If you go fast, it'll just deposit a thin. Okay, I better not smear it. Oops, I lingered too long. So I bought a book about making stamps using pink erasers. I never carved anything, not the lino blocks. I know some people did that when they were maybe in high school or in grammar school as part of their art class, but I never had the opportunity to do that. So I'm gonna try that out. Let's see how dark it is. I still got a lot on my black. Not used it a lot, so I won't feel bad using it up. Yeah, it was the silver one that I had used over there. So I'm thinking I want to make a stamp out of this too. So I gotta work quickly with these glaze pens because it's gonna dry out, and as it dries out it becomes tacky, and so when you go over it with the tip of the pen again, it starts to pull up. Very opaque, huh? Definitely did not use the black one on the other one. Yeah, that one is already dry. It's gonna, yeah, it already pulled it up. Okay. Does not have to be perfect, Rebecca. I don't think I have a whole lot of time left. It's already 9:35 according to my watch. Do any of you need to have a story to what you're making? I mean, I think that's the point of making, right? Creating art is to tell a story or communicate an idea, a thought. It's separating at some points over here. It's alright, okay. Oops. That one lost his neck. Maybe he's a bodybuilder. And he really works out his neck muscles. Maybe he's the guy that can lift up the heavy things in this resistance. Still very, very glossy. I mean, that's the point of glaze pens, right? I guess that's why I'm always afraid of using up art supplies. I'm like, what if they discontinue? But then things dry out, right? And I ended up throwing a bunch of little paint tubes that I had bought from Liquitex when I first started gel printing. And I considered them the ugly colors. But as I've been exploring more with my painting and then with gel printing. Oh, there I go. All right. I think the only part I'll have time is to finish this. So a lot of my ugly, quote unquote, colors dried out when I was trying to use them a couple of weeks ago, because I'm like, oh, yeah, it's already drying. Okay, I'm not going to try to go over that. So they dried out. And I was disappointed. So disappointed. Which one did I use? Did I use it? Was it the silver one or was it a clear one? Maybe it was the clear one. But the clear one is my favorite. And that's the one that I'm out of. It's my favorite. All right, we're gonna do a little bit of one of these little creatures. I yap too much, don't I? And get to get started. I'm always a late starter. Even in my painting class, it takes me forever to do my setup. Okay, now I can see it better. But can you guys see it? Yeah, kinda. You're just gonna have to trust me. Trust me. My boss is gonna be mad when I show back up tomorrow. Because I had sent her a message saying I'm gonna try to log in, check some emails. But you know what? I felt so sick most of the morning today. I had such a headache. I slept through the entire morning. I mean, only because my cat kept walking in and jumping on me. I think he was checking up on me. He wouldn't let me sleep, and I was so annoyed. I'm like, why won't you let me sleep? Poor cat. I kicked him out. I think he was just trying to make sure I was okay. Yeah. I like this color now. Yeah, I think this is the one that I use. Because you can still see through not like this one. And while I do want the creatures to be part of it, I don't want them to be the prominent ones. I want it to be the people. Maybe the little elves. They're elves? I don't know if they are elves. Anyways, I do feel bad. But I just could not get out. So much work to do. But you know what? For the most part, I have very competent staff. I can trust most. But what I did get to finish was we had to complete was a training, compliance training, they call it. I mean, I've been working for the company for 15 years going now. The same training, same content that you're supposed to know. And a lot of it is like logical, like don't do this, don't harass people, don't say inappropriate things at work. Report it. If you see it, say something. So, there's been kind of a similar training videos they've been using for the last, let's say, 3 years. And like I said, they're not that I'm not saying it's logical, but it's like, well, duh, yeah. Don't say inappropriate things. Don't harass people. Don't make inappropriate jokes. Don't touch people. What do you think? See? Yeah, that's the one. So cute. All right, I'm gonna do this last one. All right, it's 9:46. I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. Okay. So, because that training I had already been doing, I was able to whiz through it and answer the questions that you're like, okay, yeah, that's logical. Logic, people, use your logic. Alright, I'm went kind of silent here. Sorry, I'm concentrating because I can't see very well my lines. I could get in closer, but then you're just gonna see my big old head. That's no fun. Nobody wants to see my head. I think I already went through there. I think I already went over this, but I don't know. We're gonna start filling it in. This might be the last video I record for a while because work is getting really busy and I'm finding myself that I really need to do some work over the weekend and at night too, in the evenings. Who knows? And I'm not gonna give up my weekend painting class. So in this month of March, this might be the last swap I participate for this year. Unless they're, I'm not gonna say the swaps are hard, but some things that we swap for, I guess I overthink things. I'm like, oh, they need to have a purpose. They need to have a story. And then I go take myself down a big old rabbit hole, a rat's nest. Then I just stress myself out trying to finish it and have it be good, because all the artists in the makers group are pretty talented. And I'm like, oh shoot. Maybe what I'll do is I'll just follow along and make the things for me. So I don't feel so pressured to finish something to mail out on time so they get it before the end of the month. There we go. There we go. What do you think? Let's turn off this light to see if without the glare it can be seen better. Can you? Oh. Let's pull it back. There's a shadow here. Let's see. Turn it on. There we go. No shadow. What if I change the color? You can see it better in person. So maybe when I take a picture, you guys will be able to see it better. So I'm going to let this dry because I don't want to put my hands on any of this. But tomorrow I'll come back and use this little stamp. It to me looks like wind, and it reminds me of the Aztec symbol that you see a lot of on the hieroglyphs that symbolize speech. And it looks something like this. Oh, can I make it? Like that. And that symbolizes when it's around a head, speech, people speaking. So that's what this reminded me of when I saw it. And that's what I was thinking of doing it here like this, symbolizing speech. What are they saying? I don't know. So, and then this one, I'll put it up above here, stamp it, and then put some embossing powder. So I don't know if I'm going to do a clear stamp, a clear, and then I put in colored embossing powder. I think this one I'm probably going to do with, I have red embossing powder, but I don't know if it'll get lost with this, but that might be cool. And this one, I don't know what color I'd make it. Maybe black embossing powder is going to look like this. And I don't have a gray. Or it's, oh, I have silver actually. And then what I want to do is to stamp some foliage, which I like doing with these little flowers, right? Just right here, like with white. And then that'll be this one for Evil Forest. Evil. Evil in bunny ears because they're misunderstood. All right, everybody. Thank you to all who is coming by to watch this little video. I really do appreciate you coming to watch and supporting this little channel that I don't know what I'm doing on this little channel other than just making because it's fun to do it and less stressful. I do like these sprites. And just blabbing away. Thank you, everybody. See you later. Bye.